It's Transformers96 here with another video review, this time of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Legends Infinite series, the Marvel's Electro, and this is part of the Build-A-Figure Ultimate Green Goblin. So yeah, so here's the packaging. Just get it in here, there we go. On the back, as you can see, the entire assortment. You've got all these figures, and then Carnage has a variant of Toxin. You get Black Cat with a variant of Spider-Woman, and the Ultimate Beetle with a variant of Boomerang. Hopefully these come out. They might not. You never know with Hasbro. Here's the Build-A-Figure and all the pieces that you need to complete him. On the back, you get a nice picture of the figure with a little small bio, and on the side, you get a nice picture of Spider-Man himself. This is a different picture than the rest in the series, and the movie Spider-Man and the movie Electro have different images than the comic series figures, which is kind of neat. In the background, you get like a web, and overall, I love this packaging. I think that it's a fantastic new redesign for the Legends packaging, and I absolutely love both this one as well as the Captain America packaging that they're doing. I think that they all look great. So let me get these back. There we go. Alright, so now on to the figures. As you can see, I bought 2 Electros, and that is purely because I'm a huge Electro fan. You might have heard me say this in videos. I love Spider-Man villains, and one of my favorite Spider-Man villains is Electro. So I really, I get like obsessed with characters when I absolutely love them. So I bought 2 because I don't know, because I guess I just wanted them, but they kind of have 2 different looks, so I kind of put them in 2 different looks. But yeah, so as you can see, when you buy 1 Electro figure, you'll get the base body, you'll get, as you can see, 2 electric hands, as well as 2 regular hands, and then you get 2 separate heads. And let me just bring these up. Here's the heads that you get. Trying to grab them. Alright, here you go. So as you can see, you get 2 Electro heads, both of them just a plain, face. They don't really have much expression to them. Both you have white eyes, and then you have like an electric blast coming off of one of them, and then the other one is just plain. The one that's just plain seems to have a darker shade of blue, while the electric blast one seems to have a lighter shade of blue. And you might be wondering, well, maybe that's just on yours, but I have 2 of these figures, and that seems to be the case for both of these. So yeah, oh, also, if you're wondering, where I got these and how you can get them, I bought one of these on eBay, and then the other one I purchased at a Target. So go to Target and type in the code, which I'll put in the description, or not type it in, but give it to somebody, and hopefully they'll be able to find you a box, which they were able to do for me. So yeah, so now that's what you get, and with the hands, of course, here's the electric blast hand, very cool. I really do love that you get 2 hands with them, and which is just great for your options of how to display them. So let's go over just one of these figures, I guess. So here's the one without anything on him, of course. As far as the face, like I said, it's fairly normal, nothing much to say. He's got a little chip on the side of his head, which is nice, very accurate to the movie. The only thing is, I would have liked the face sculpt to be a little bit more kind of full of like a purplish and just some different colors, because in the movie he does seem to have like a lot of electricity flowing through his face, and yeah, and while I'm saying this, I'm pulling up a picture of him on my phone. Here you go. That's a really nice picture of him, and as you can see, this one is incredibly plain, and in the movie you can see like his dark veins behind the blue of the other side of his skull and stuff. They really have some really fantastic details. So this is quite plain. I would have loved for some more detail in the face. Is that a little nitpicking? Yeah, I think so, but still, they could have done it. That would have been nice. The suit itself is really good. It seems to be completely accurate. I love the neck piece, how it's a bunch of different lines. That's completely accurate. There's like some texture in the suit. I don't know what that is. That very well might be his suit starting to melt on his body because of the electricity that he's producing. And if that's the case, then wow, that's going to be so cool in the movie. Or that's just some texture. So either it's something really interesting or it's just some texture. I don't know. And on the back of his like shoulder blades almost, you get like this kind of like a reddish burgundy kind of brown paint. I don't know what that's about because that's just on the back right there, but it kind of does give him like a little bit more of a shine, so that's kind of neat. You've got his regular body, and his shoulders have a bunch of different knobs and dials, which looks really cool. And of course you have more of that texture right there on the side of him. And as you can see, very nice. Just go through the whole thing, and then you get fairly normal boots and everything. So overall, I really do like this look. I think the costume, they basically nailed it in my opinion. As far as the sculpt, it seems to be perfect from what I can see. Now to the things that I don't like about it, and this is just me of course being a big fan of the Electro character that I want them to get right, is the blue in the costume. Of course, this is not accurate to the movie. This is, I think what this is supposed to do is like represent kind of the light that gets reflected off of his suit when he's doing like the electric blast and stuff, which is kind of neat. It's a neat thing that Hasbro decided to do. It's just not accurate, and I want it to be accurate, so I really don't like this. I know when they showed it at Comic-Con, it was not like this. You know, you can go look at the pictures, but it was a completely black suit, just like the movie, so I don't know why they decided to change it last minute, but they did, and overall, I don't like this. Maybe it's just to get kids to buy it so it doesn't look like such a plain figure, but still, I don't like this. Buying two of them also gives me the option to paint one of them so that I can have a completely black suit, which I might do. I'm not sure if I will, though. But yeah, but that is definitely something that I do not like so much. When it comes to the hands, the fist hands, the joint is painted blue, so, you know, because he has the blue arms up here, it doesn't look so bad, but if you do paint this, or if you're just really nitpicky about that stuff, that is a bit of an annoyance, so yeah, but that's not a huge deal. Overall, he does look really nice. Let me just give you a look at him with the electric bits. Of course, here he is with his face, with the electricity coming out of his eyes. I cannot wait to see that in the movie. That's going to be pretty sick. And then his electric hands. Overall, these are really cool hands. Any of you out there doing a custom of the Emperor, you know, you're going to want these hands because they are perfect. You've got like electricity coming out of each finger. It looks wonderful, really well done, really well. It's a fantastic idea, something that I totally wouldn't expect Hasbro to do, but they gave us, so I'm really appreciative of that. And it looks like a fantastic accessory, and I really do love that. Going over articulation. Let's go over articulation, but let me just go over him so there's no like distracting parts. You've got a ball jointed head, and that ball joint is on a hinge, so he can look down this far, you know, and you can kind of have that slouch head, or you can kind of have him up a little bit and then looking down, and then he does look back this far. Overall, a wonderful range of motion on the head, really does work, and it's really great. Ball hinge shoulders, they are a little bit hindered by like the dials, but other than that, not too bad, nothing to complain about. Swivel at the bicep, double hinge elbows, which works pretty well. I will say, out of the people in this line, his elbows, they bend fairly the least, because they all seem to have double jointed elbows, and he doesn't bend super well. I guess Catwoman is the exception to that, but overall, it's mostly just a single hinge, basically. The top hinge up here doesn't really get much use, so that's nothing to really complain about. Those swivel hinge wrists, which are really nice, but they are very hard to move when it comes to the fisted hands. He's got an ab crunch, which works pretty well. Very nice. You can definitely get a good downward motion. Upward, it just kind of straightens out when you move it all the way up, so yeah. He's got a swivel waist, a ball jointed hip, which works really nice, swivel swivel thigh. Then he has double hinge knees, which is quite nice, and then a swivel hinge pivot ankles, which works really good. It does get a little hindered here by the costume, but not very much. You can put this guy in some great poses and have him fighting Spider-Man, and overall, that's just really great. Let's just compare him with Spider-Man. Alright, here's just a few small poses, just so you can kind of get the feel of the Electro's, range of motion, as well as how he works in a pose with the movie Spider-Man. But as you can see over here, we've got Electro kind of doing an electric blast, and Spider-Man was running at him, but now he's quick flying back to try to limbo under that electricity. And yeah, as you can see, he's got a really nice range of motion. I love that you can have the elbow up really far, but still have him pointing electricity straight straight due to that hinge on the wrist. Very nicely done. And then over here I just got a little, you know, kind of him realizing that he's, you know, turned into Electro and he'll never be the same, so he's just kind of on his knees, kind of yelling up to the sky, that type of thing. As you can see, he really does have a great range of emotion. Definitely not as good as somebody like Spider-Man from this series, definitely no, but he still works really well. You can do a lot of great poses with him, and overall the articulation is really nice. One thing that I will also say is, if you have him in a pose and you want his arm kind of like out, you can't kind of like lift his arm up because of this hinge, because of these dials, I mean, they stop him. So what you have to do is you have to turn them upside down and then kind of straighten out his arm so that it looks like he's going completely straight. But when you do that, you do get this blue shading at the bottom of his arm, which of course isn't great, but yeah, so you know, that's not a big deal at all, but I thought it was worth mentioning. So there you go. So now let's just show you the Build-A-Figure piece that he comes with. Of course, the Build-A-Figure from this series is the Ultimate Green Goblin. Sorry about that, Electro just fell. But yeah, so here he is, and of course you're going to get the left arm of Electro, which is right here, as well as this little fire kind of blast. And as you can see, it looks very nice. I'm definitely not going to go into it right now because I will, of course, have a separate review of that Ultimate Goblin for you coming up. But yeah, so overall this Electro figure is really nice. Is it for you? I think that as a figure, let me just get him straight for a second here before I start doing the wrap up if you want it. So yeah. So okay, so now is this for you? So if you're the type of person that just is looking for a good figure, and you're basically willing to buy any of these characters, as long as their figures are good, then there is definitely some better figures in this wave than this guy. I definitely think that the Spider-Man, an argument could be made for Carnage, and different figures like that are a little bit better as figures as this guy. I think that this is a very strong character, of course. The main villain for the movie that's Amazing Spider-Man 2, which this entire line is based off of, and because of that, I highly recommend this figure. But overall, the figure is great. You get tons of accessories and some great different looks for this character, and just an absolute, almost completely, you know, movie accurate. Missing a little detail in the face, as well as the costume being not the right color in some areas. Those are the small problems that I have with this figure. Overall, it's truly great and definitely worthy of a pickup for sure. I absolutely recommend it, even if you're not trying to complete the Goblin himself. But of course, if you are trying to complete the Goblin, then you're going to need one of these guys anyway. So overall, highly recommended by me. I bought 2 of these guys, and you know, of course, that's mostly for the character, but if it was a terrible figure, I would have not bought 2 of these. So you can see that this is definitely a good figure, and definitely worth your money, and overall, highly recommended by me. You'll have a lot of fun with them. Kids will have fun with this guy. Definitely recommend this one for kids over the 3 3/4 inch one because, you know, they'll like the different options for how you can have him look while he's fighting Spider-Man and stuff like that. So definitely a great figure. I'm not sure what the price on these guys are because they on Hasbro's website and on Big Bad Toy Store, they're saying that these are supposed to be $20 a piece. I bought the entire Captain America series as well as the entire Spider-Man series for $15 a piece. So I don't know what's up with that. You might want to go buy yours soon because maybe they'll raise it to 20 like they've been saying that they're going to do. Or maybe they just won't, but I don't know. But what I do know right now is that they are 20 at the moment, even though they very well might be risen to oh sorry, they are 15 at the moment, even though they might very soon be risen to $20. So definitely recommend trying to get your hands on these things as quickly as possible because you can definitely save some money that way. Overall, great figures, highly recommended by me, and very glad I got them, and thanks so much for watching.